Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Andrew Tate's Security and Survival Issues. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help get the word out. Now, let's get started. Andrew Tate's security problems over the last few years have been very significant and getting worse. Some of them may even be life-threatening. We've done some very deep research and an analysis of Andrew's security issues and survival probabilities, and we've reached out to a number of experts and professionals in the security field to help us conduct a survival analysis of Andrew's current situation, and it is not good. As a result of the analysis, we determined that Andrew's probability of surviving the next 3 years will be low. We've also assessed what the potential threats to Andrew are and laid out some potential security options that could be of assistance. Some of these we'll disclose and others have to be discussed privately. Andrew's problems exist on a number of levels. First, there are his political, financial, commercial, and of course his security problems, and these will only increase each time he goes online and says something. If he says something derogatory or inflammatory about some individual or organizations, then his problems will decay, they'll get worse. He can only thread that needle so many times before he inadvertently or deliberately insults the wrong person or organization at the worst possible time when he's giving an interview. The reason Andrew's enemies, old and new, are so problematic is that most of them are not street thugs or barroom brawlers. Those are easily dealt with, even by the most incompetent security teams. Andrew's high-level enemies could bring in special security teams, assassins, surveillance operatives that can monitor and compromise Andrew almost at will. If he provokes these kinds of people, then they can use the legal system to seize more of his bank accounts or assets and then refuse to return them. And they don't just have to go after his domestic accounts and domestic assets. They can fan out over the globe and grab everything. One phone call from the local ambassador to their Justice Department and they'll turn it all over. They could seize his new cars and homes, assets that he's acquired since he was released from prison. They could claim that his family members or friends are conspiring with him and then start to seize their assets in order to compel them to testify against Andrew. They could infiltrate the vendors that deliver things to Andrew's home. They could plant narcotics in his home or vehicles. They could digitally plant illegal image files of children on his computer and then send in investigators with a subpoena to search his devices and charge him with possession of these files. But these are potentially very low-level tactics they might use against him. There's a strong possibility that they could escalate their efforts against Andrew by going after his children, family, and even his friends. To safeguard them, he would need to fly them out of the country to another secure location. We assume that Andrew would want to move them to Dubai or elsewhere in the Middle East to protect them. Here are some recommended measures and protocols that Andrew may wish to consider incorporating into his security. First of all, randomly altering the work schedules and locations of his security people is very important. It'll make it less likely that they'll be compromised by his enemies. Next, give his people a special NDA to sign in which they agree to allow Andrew and his staff to monitor and survey all their cell phones, computers, and communications devices while they work for you. This document should also be signed by everyone that works for Andrew and his people. Next, Andrew should stop assuming that using conventional retail-level scramblers on his phones will protect and secure his conversations. They won't. There are already newer technologies out there that can defeat conventional retail phone scramblers, so he should consider more sophisticated technology. Next, instead of employing locally hired security, he should consider hiring former U.S. Special Forces Black Ops teams as well as Israeli security experts that can be hired out and will come to work for him. But he has to be very careful because the cartels have a lot of their security people online pretending to be looking for work when in reality they still secretly work for the cartels and will use any job they get with Andrew's organization to undermine him and the people he has working for him. We know Andrew uses Bitcoin, but what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of the crypto exchanges have been compromised, monitored, and tracked already. There's very little secrecy involved when you go through some of the Bitcoin exchanges. So Andrew should consider other financial security and storage options that will be more protective. Next, he should reach out and start building financial relationships with the leaders of some small and mid-sized countries that may be open to partnering with him. Some of them will offer to give him citizenship and protection, but in reality, most of them will sell him out the moment a foreign government offers them more money. But what he should consider exploring with them is a partnership on a business venture which will generate money for the two of them. Once this newly formed potential business partnership is up and running and generating serious revenue, then the leader of that country will be much less likely to sell Andrew out to his enemies. Now, we can't publicly disclose all the measures that Andrew can take, but we can reveal one that will be very integral to his attempts to protect himself and compromise his enemies. First, forget everything you've seen in the old spy movies over the last 30, 40, or even 50 years. All of that technology is dated and no longer in use. One way for Andrew to protect himself and survive is to spend more time considering how he can partner with his enemies to help them make more money together in the future. Sourcing business projects that will allow his enemies to make much more money by keeping him alive than by killing him will provide Andrew with an elevated level of protection. Partnering with his enemies will also buy Andrew more time to stay alive and anticipate the move of his enemies, the next move. Given the primitive level of Andrew's publicly visible current security efforts, we estimate that he has a 25% chance of surviving the next 3 years. Good luck. Thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help get the word out. Thank you, and we shall talk to you soon. Bye-bye.